This video is late on a number of levels, because I mentioned it in the Edgerunners video that I would do one after Phantom Liberty. I'd play through that and do something, and then obviously the Wicker Man stuff happened because it's an anniversary thing and I love the film, why not? So yeah, this is coming out a lot later than I intended. Now, have I finished Phantom Liberty? That depends on your definition of finished. Because my plan was, my original playthrough, I did Nomad V, and I really enjoyed that. I've got a review of it, go and watch it. But I once started a Corpo Start V, and I couldn't quite I know she was kicked out, but I couldn't quite justify her turning to the life of crime, if you will, that she does. So it felt a sort of disconnect for me. So this time around it was Street Kid. That works a lot better. And I did a little bit of side stuff as I went, but mainly focused on main quest. I got Phantom Liberty to trigger, like the first bit of that. I forgot to do the roller coaster side quest before I got locked out of it. I know you can still fix it and everything, but I'm not getting the XP for it, so no. But yeah, I got to the point, meeting Hanako at Embers, done all the side stuff, then going to Dogtown. That was the plan, not knowing that the Phantom Liberty stuff is pretty much designed around, here's a story quest, now you're going to have to wait a day or whatever for someone to call you, so go and do some of the wonderful side stuff we've got for you. And yeah, that was the plan. Do all that, bomb through Dogtown, get that wonderful final ending. What I would consider the best ending, some consider it the worst, that V survives. But, I think it's the best. Even though you've lost connections with people, you can rebuild those connections, you can make new ones. Because some people thought you died or something like that. But, yeah, to me it's the best ending. But I never got to see that ending. Whilst I was playing through, it was probably some time, or some point between the ability to start playing Phantom Liberty and me starting it, I kept having random crashes. And when I say crashes, I don't mean CTDs, crash to the desktop. I mean full PC restarting. I'm not going to bore you with the details. I did a take of this a bit ago that was literally me talking mostly about my computer issues. I'm like, that's not what we're here for. But the simple version is, it was power spikes. My graphics card was trying to draw too much power, possibly at the same time as the CPU, and the PSU was like, whoa, that's a lot, and the PC just reboots. It's protecting itself to make it sound human and alive. I'm looking after our robot overlords. But that was it. It was one of those. So I looked up and, I could have bought a new PSU and graphics card and all that kind of stuff and had it fitted by someone else. I'm not messing with putting PSUs in. I don't. I use a thing online where I will be like, here are the bits I want. Can you build this? And the automated thing goes, no, because your case isn't big enough for this. And I go, right, what if I put a bigger case in? And then some lovely person builds it, it gets shipped to me, and I don't have to worry about setting it and cable management, all that stuff. Brilliant. One of the problems, before I get off my computer woes, because like I said, I don't want us to be half the video, one of the problems is I have a 6-pin 3050 made by Pallet, not an 8-pin. That might be part of the problem. I'm very much on the side that it probably is a big part of the problem. I need more juice, but like I say, I'm not sending my PC away to be without it for a while to put more juice in yet. I'll live. We'll see what happens down the line. But that was it. So I couldn't finish it. So this is a video because I didn't just want to leave it and say like, oh, at some point I'll do a video on it and then never do it. I hate doing that. So my thoughts on what I played and how much I enjoyed it. So first of all, we have some new radio stations in there. We've got community tracks. There's a great song, Something to Heaven, Getting to Heaven, something like that. I can't remember the name. I should have looked it up before the video. I'm a terrible person. But by Saint Aurora, who are apparently Finnish, if I recall. And I love that song. It's great. It's got such energy. There's a lot on there that, I really do like. But there's someone on the soundtrack who I didn't realise was on the soundtrack. I knew they were in the game because Idris Elba joins as Solomon Reed. But yeah, also there are songs by Idris Elba, which has now made me learn that Idris Elba is in fact also a musician at the same time. He does like some rap stuff, and it's not really what I enjoy, but for what it is, I quite like it. I do still occasionally sing some of the bits that are in Phantom Liberty, but that's it. It's not something that I'd have on my playlist all the time. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved getting Mr. Hands to actually have more gigs available. I was like, that was felt lacking. Everyone else has got like tons. I mean, Regina's got too many, but everyone else has got a load of gigs and stuff like that, and he's got like one. So the fact that they tied him into Dogtown and made sure that there were more things you could do with him or for him, and actually getting to see him, because he was always the one that you never saw the face of. You know, you've seen El Capitan, you've seen Dino, you know, Regina, like I say, you've seen Wakako, and like Mr. Hands was just this figure in shadow. And I liked how they played it. It's like, well, yes, you needed to earn his trust. He's not one of those people who's like, yes, I'm a fixer, look at me, I'm great. He's like, no, I need to protect myself. If people know my face, I'm a target. I love that. There is theoretically the possibility that you could just walk in that room and shoot him. I don't know. I should have tried it. Someone, see if that breaks the game. See if it's possible, because I would love to know. But it's not the face that I would have given him. Let's put it that way. My impression was probably a bit more like Dino's face, if not like the hairstyle and the attitude. But I did skew him a bit younger than I think he looks in model. But, you know, it's fine. It's their artistic choice. I respect it. I love the redesign of the perk trees, the you know, extra 10 level cap. And throughout this video, I've been putting up some of the, like I think I did it in the first one, where I put up some of the photo mode captures I've done. And they might have already been up already, or they might be coming around now if I haven't yet. But there are instances of the columbarium where the urns are kept. And this one really hit me in the chest. Absolutely, it got me. The memorials, and like I said, the slots, if you will, that Lucy, it's got to have been Lucy, has put for the Edge Runners crew. I teared up walking around, you know, seeing David and Gloria's. I like the fact that his mum's is there as well, and the rest of the team. But I think I said in the Edge Runners thing, you know, there's like bits on the perk tree that link in. Even I think the perk is Edge Runner, the one that's got a picture of David's back, and it gives you, I think, the capacity to put more cyberware in at cost to your health. It's very much what happens to David. There's a lot of this stuff that just really hits very differently, and really, really well. I'm glad I didn't play any of the Edge Runners content the first time around, because I think, if I recall, the Edge Runners update was released about the time that I was finishing it up, so I didn't go back and hunt all the stuff out because it didn't mean anything to me. I'm glad that I left it until now and really got the impact of it, because, yeah, it was so weird. These aren't real people. I've recently in my life, you know, sort of dealt with my first real proper grief moment. And I mean, by the time of this, it's probably about like 3 months ago now, but it's one of those things, like, it's one of those things that you can't prepare for. I'll tell you that. If you've never had it, you can't prepare for it. You think you'll be prepared, but it will hit you. And it will hit you in a way that you didn't expect. But even for non-real characters, I've still seen bits of their life. I still feel for them. I can still empathise and put myself in that position. Perspective taking is what some people like to use as a term, and I think that's very, very appropriate. I can do that with these characters, and that's why seeing that memorial to them really got me. And, you know, the fact that we do have still on a radio station, I really want to stay at your house. I know I said it in the Edge Runners thing, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I really love that song. I think a cover of it will have to come out at some point. I have to do it. I'm just finding a key that isn't... I can do it as per recording, but it's a push. So if I maybe just drop it down a whole step, might work. We'll see. You'll find out in the future. But yeah, I loved what they added. I loved how folding in external material, if you will, you know, with Edge Runners, kind of worked in its favour. A lot of the changes made, obviously we all know about the release originally and the constant delays before release. So, yeah, constant delays because we're making it better. They release it and it's still kind of broken. But that's very much in the past. Over the years that have passed since, they have really done well of making it work and making it engaging. The world has been constantly improved and iterated upon, and I really enjoyed my time with it. As much as I was having the problems, I believe that's my hardware. I'm not necessarily going to lay that entirely at the feet of CDPR. I think that's unfair. If it was perhaps optimized in a different way that didn't cause those power spikes, yeah, okay, that one I can lay at them. But otherwise, it's my hardware. I'm not going to hold that against them. So, if you, for some reason, haven't played through Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty and watched Edge Runners, I think the 3 videos I've made of this so far tell you that I think you should watch and play this if your system's up to it. So thank you very much for letting me talk about this, and as always, until next time, take care.